Hey all, I'm your host Cryptic and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a new gamepad controller, specifically the Fantech EOS Pro controller. As you know, recently got a new gaming laptop, have been installing and playing games on it, having a lot of fun. Though a few games do tend to play more comfortably and better on a controller compared to keyboard and mouse. I love keyboard and mouse. The keyboard and mouse setup that I have is fantastic. Keyboard review coming soon. But playing things like, for example, Hades 2 in early access on Steam lend way better to being, for me at least, on controller. So I decided to go out and grab a Hall effect sensor style or Hall effect sensor controller, sort of on a budget. And by budget, this is roughly 70 Australian dollars. You can probably get it cheaper here or there on discount, maybe towards 50 Australian or 60. But it roughly retails for about 70. They're quite new in Australia. So when speaking to the place that I went to, Centacom, they only had them in for a couple of weeks. So they were pretty new. And they didn't really have any feedback on the quality or whatever because they hadn't had any yet. They hadn't had any for return. So that was good. At least they weren't DOA. So that's pretty good. But yeah, I wanted to get something Hall effect, something that would last, wouldn't break the bank, and was good for, like, small to medium sized hands. Although my hands are on the large side, the wife does enjoy playing PC games as well, and a controller is sometimes preferred for her as well. And we wanted something that we could sort of share as a controller and just use. And this came up. So yeah, as you can see, that it is a Hall effect, interchangeable D-pad and thumbsticks. The default ones that come on here are the small ones, large ones in the box. And it connects over 2.4 wireless, wired, or Bluetooth. I have it set up on Bluetooth. That's my preference. Less USB ports I have to use with dongles and stuff, the better. So yeah, those are the specs for anyone who's interested. You can pause the video and read them. But it does do the full 1000 hertz polling rate. I'm not using this for any competitive gaming. If I am, it'll be keyboard and mouse. But for those who want something with good input latency and lack of lag, etc., 1000 hertz, plenty. So yeah, that's the box. I'll show you what comes in accessories wise. I did speak on them before, the thumbsticks and stuff. They are just friction fit, but they won't come off unless you want them to, which is really good. So you don't have to worry about them just randomly flying off while you're using it in an intense gaming session or whatever. Okay, put that aside. Manuals, etc. They're there for anyone's interested. And here's the accessories. So you get the more rounded sort of directional key input keys, the traditional up, down, left, right. I've got the hex input, the one that's shown on the box art, the longer thumbsticks. So real cool. So if these ever wear out, whatever, you can just replace them. Though I did find though online, these seem to be quite universal sort of friction fit size stuff. So they're not anything that's like proprietary. So if somehow you destroy both, you could probably get them directly from Fantech or just find them online on like eBay, etc. That'd be my best bet. The dongle itself, and in here it does come with tension rings for the thumbsticks for those who like to change tension. It doesn't have like a hardware setting for it, but it uses these foamy, rubbery rings. So really soft, really firm. Completely up to you what you prefer using. So they're there. And it also comes with a braided USB A to C charging cable. Haven't used it. I've got a USB C to C on my standing desk that charges everything, and yeah, I just use that. So I've just left that in there brand new. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that's included in the accessories with this. I'll just pack it all up real quick and then show you the actual controller itself, how it feels, and my feedback of using it for the last 3 weeks. So this is the controller. As you can see, it's quite understated compared to some of the colors it comes in. It does come in a few colors. This one just seemed to match what we've got with the sort of black keyboard, mouse, etc. So it sort of fit, clean, less chance of showing, I guess, grime. Though I do tend to clean my controllers regularly, whether it be the PlayStation, the Switch, or this, whether it be like a light wipe down. So here you go. You can see that's them coming off friction fit. They will not come off unless you want them to come off, which is good. Boom. In. No issues. Same for here. This, same thing, pops up and off. no problems. With here, you'll notice that there is like a spot for like a very tiny flathead screwdriver, something you'd use to like adjust the screws on like a watch or glasses. Pop that right off, and then the other one comes in. It's sort of magnetically done, and you can switch to the other ones. So yeah, as you can see, the buttons do light up. I've got it set to the RGB where this activates on here when they're in use, just to save battery. Battery though, plenty long. The only charge I've done on it, charged it once actually. So yeah, initially when we got it, just quickly topped it up when we got out of the box before we used it, just to condition the battery. And then just the last 3 weeks of just playing, I've only had to do it once, and it's been really good. It is more designed for small to medium hands, I would say. As you can see, I have to sort of claw grip the thumbsticks like this, but it is still comfortable for my large hands. I do have large hands, but it is still comfortable. My gripe isn't with any of the thumbsticks or arrow pad or anything like that. Mine is more with the back pedals. The back pedals tend to get in the way a bit with my middle finger here, where I like to sort of rest it on the controller or whatever. I can sort of just grip it underneath here or be more like this, but I tend to just like it like there, as you can see, and that sends a hit, which is annoying. The other gripe that I have with this, even though it's an Xbox layout, it's recognized as a Nintendo Switch Pro controller in Windows and on Steam. Though on Steam you can let it know by forcing a link. It's a third-party Xbox sort of thing, so like the 8-bit whatever. Because as you can see, it's AB, not BA, XY, and not YX. But it does have quirks from the Nintendo Pro controller that you sort of got to remember. This is your screenshot button, not your pause button. That's your pause button. That is still your sort of home, activate big picture mode, etc. Wake up console or device sort of thing. So that's still there. That's fine. This one here, unless you map it to something, not going to do anything. And this, the minus, won't do anything unless you map it. Cool thing is though, you can change the lighting and everything on this. No software needed. So there's no software for this. You just hold down this button and you go up and down to cycle through whether you want to increase or change brightness or to change the RGB modes. And yeah, you can turn them all off completely if you prefer to have no RGB whatsoever. On the back, you can see it does all the different platforms. So Windows, MacBook and iPad, also got Android, and you have the Nintendo Switch. So whichever you're using, you can switch to that and it will work. You've also got stops here, so you can engage them, locks for your trigger, so they can go halfway or all the way. I leave them all the way because that's what I'm used to. I don't play any shooters, etc. Again, if I am, I'm using keyboard and mouse. I am not using a controller. But you can do that if you want with these buttons here. That engaging them will do that. The pogo pins. Now these are interesting. Now, I noticed this. I'm like, this is clearly for charging, right? So is there a docking station for this thing? Now, Fantech being Malaysian, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I believe they are Malaysian. The docking station is available sort of in Asia, India, etc. But it's quite new out to the West. They've only recently released it. Like I said, the store that I got it from, Senacom, they've only had it for a couple of weeks and they had no real feedback on it yet. They don't have, and I can't see it on the Fantech Global, which is where the Australian one leads to, have it on sale. Now, I know it comes in a white and a black variant of the charging dock, which then connects straight to the pogo pins right here. It's about 20 to 25 Australian dollars, guess. I'm not 100% sure, but with this being roughly 70 Australian, that 95, it's on par, I guess, with the 8-bit that comes bundled in with it. I'm surprised it's not. Seems like all the different brands are doing it. So yeah, it wasn't a make or break thing for me. It's one less thing to clutter. I've got a drawer that this goes into when it's not being used, but it's USB-C for charging. So when I am not using it and it needs a charge, I'll just plug it into the USB-C cable on my standing desk. So that works perfectly for me. So yeah, so overall, I do like the controller. Still getting used to, because I do switch between obviously the PlayStation 5 and the PC. When I want to game, I'm mostly gaming on the keyboard and mouse. When I pull this out, my hands just tend to hit and the back pedals, and then muscle memory is always wanting to press this right here to pause, and instead it takes a screenshot, which is annoying. But overall, feels great. I've got no complaints. I know some people are very fussy with how their triggers feel and do, and the way that they interact and do things. So far, playing the games that at least I play, it's great. Build quality seems fine. It's not creaky. It's quite solid. There's none of that weird flex you get on a controller where you can sort of slowly bow it up and down. There's no bowing, none of that. Good texture on the back. It feels like something that will last a long while, and hopefully it maintains that way. And it connects over, like I said, 2.4 Bluetooth and wired. And in wired, though, a lot of people have noticed in a few of the reviews is that they couldn't get the audio jack working on the controller. It works only in wired mode. So whether that be on PC or the Switch, you got to connect it wired using the USB-C. And then while that's wired, you can then connect this and have your wired headphones working. So there you go. I know that's a bit crappy. Why can't it have sort of a wireless protocol similar to like the PS5 controller or the Xbox or whatever? I mean, it is what it is. So, I mean, look, if you're playing on PC and you've got a wireless headset, you probably have a way to properly connect it anyway. You're not using a wired headset at all. But for those who are, you got to go wired for the controller as well. That's the only option. So, yeah, other than that, it is a solid controller. I'd personally recommend it if you're looking for something that sort of fits various hand sizes, is comfortable, has the Hall effect stuff, so you're not going to worry about stick drift and all that sort of stuff. This is a good choice, especially on a budget. If you need one with a docking station, like that is a deal breaker for you if it doesn't have one. Have a look to see if that's available for this. Get it. If not, you might be stuck with some of the other competitors. And I know with some, they're a bit more dearer, depending on your region. They may not have the hot swappable sticks and this without pulling the whole thing apart with screws, or some needing a faceplate removed first and then being able to do that. But for me, for the purposes that I need to use this, great battery life, great ergonomics, great to have Hall effect sensors at a budget price point, and yeah, just compatible for all the games. And other than its few quirks, because you know it's Switch compatible as well, if you can sort of adjust your muscle memory and just get used to those two quirks with the pause and screenshot and how it recognizes the button layout with a few settings on Steam and Windows, you'll be right as rain. So yeah, guys, that's been my video on the Fantech EOS Pro controller. I think it's a great controller. It's great seeing sort of what was perceived as high-end features on $100+ especially $100+ USD dollar controllers are available now on the more budget end, and they're not sort of cutting corners in sense of quality or finish. Let's see, maybe the color on here will fade over time as using it, but so far 3 weeks in a hot humid temperature here down under has been no issue. So yeah, guys, if you found this video useful, leave a thumbs up, a comment, subscribe if you haven't subscribed and you're looking for more gaming reviews, devices, tutorials, etc. That's what my channel is all about. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.